is one of the reasons why Unity is like so easy to kind of like build stuff out in VR for.
Mm-hmm.
It handles all of this for you. So I selected virtual reality. I can choose whatever else I wanted. Let's say if I wanted to make it for like the Vive, I can select it there. I can also select cardboard, Google Daydream. Yeah, because Google Daydream's great. Don't badmouth Google. In Google headquarters.
They'll listen.
But yeah, like
Looking for homes. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Google Cardboard is not doing the best in the VR market, but I mean, it's okay.
That's the thing where you just get your phone and you put it on.
Yeah, but like it's. You know what sucks? They don't have a trigger button. How do you not have a trigger button in VR? Like, it's crazy. Like, every other game is a shooter. Like, and then if you want to jump or something like that, you know, like, how do you?
I guess they're just like, they'll just do it.
Yeah.
They'll just jump.
No one jumps.
Yeah, it's like it's trying to be like Legend of Zelda where you automatically jump and stuff. I guess. Yeah. So, all right. So, what did we just make? You know. Like we just made like 3 cubes shooting. I know, like, before you leave and say like, yo, this is the most boring lesson I've ever had in my life, I would argue that we made 2 games that I've worked on so far. So we've made the shooting mechanic in Holiday Wars, which is a virtual reality game where you're playing as the last Jewish household in a Christmas town and sending off Christmas characters from decorating your house for the holidays. And that gaze detection system that I showed you with where you're actually just like looking around, that is the logic that kind of detects where your head is to kind of like add jump scares for Don't Look Away. So with these cubes, we just made 2 awesome games, and it just requires a little bit of like extra juice. And
I was curious, do you design these models, or do you work with someone else?
No, I don't.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm not an artist. I'm
draw.
not a 3D modeler. I would barely say I'm a coder. No, I'm kidding. So like I would say my focus is on code. So what I want to do is kind of focus on that because there's a lot of really tough problems you have to solve coding wise in VR. So you have a couple options. You can work with modelers. You can work with art people if you have, and also like. You can, if you have the money, you can hire somebody. But what you can also do is
like steal them from the Unity's library.
Yeah. So you can go to this thing called the asset store, and basically buy what you cannot make. Like, and when I say buy what you cannot make, I don't mean like these models aren't like ridiculously expensive. I'm actually gonna just quickly go into the asset store to show you like an example. So let's say we wanted to kind of go into 3D models. And we wanted to kind of build a
Horses.
Yeah, we want. Well, I don't want to like shoot animals, but like I want to like. Let's say if we wanted to like we wanted to turn these cubes into monsters. For
$4.
for $4, we have the ability to put these objects as our cubes. And I'm just gonna mute this so it's not like there, but like. This is like granted, like, you know, like if you wanted to make your own like unique game, like completely feel it, like you can learn all of this on your own as well. You can learn how to model. You can build using Google Blocks, which is dope. It's like it's made for VR, and you kind of have this really cool style to it. But if you really just want to kind of focus on building something out, you have the ability to just buy these assets from the asset store, and they're not. I wouldn't say like they're all relatively affordable, but like most of them are around like $20 to like $50. If you wanted to like go crazy and get like, there's this one asset that's like ridiculous. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. This guy, well, no, not even like. Let's say if you wanted to make Cyberpunk before Cyberpunk came out, it's $20 just to like get the assets to this, and then you can just kind of like build your world upon this.
Is that like in Blender or something?
Some of these are made in Maya, some of these are made in Blender, but like what's cool, what the asset store does is like a bunch of like developers or modelers and stuff like that sell the stuff that they made, because you know, indie games don't really make money. So like, you know, at least you can sell the assets that you have, and just kind of like other people can like enjoy it too.
Right.
For $20, you can turn your city into a cyberpunk city, and then you can turn those enemies into like those cube enemies into like that $20 asset, and you like $40 is still a lot, but like you basically created your game with $40. So that being said, there is a free section here. So that like let me show you that.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. So I think there's like a parameter here. Pricing. Free. So
I love creative because we were all like,
It's like, oh, $40.
Yeah, like how about that free 99 though? But like, so granted, like you're not gonna get like the crazy models that like you'd get from like, you know, like paid assets, but like these are all really amazing stuff that you can get for free. And like let's say if I wanted to add this barbarian in as like one of the enemies, it's amazing. It's free. The car here. I wouldn't want to shoot chickens, like I know that from Legend of Zelda. But zombie shooter, free asset there. It's just that one of the sucky things about it, and this is just games in general, there's like not a huge variety of like character like selections, just like because, you know, like it's just the people that are making games. So like we like for my game Museum Multiverse, I had to like model the like sketch out the character, work with somebody to model it out and stuff like that. So like there are some points where you're gonna have to model stuff. There's other points where you can just kind of get a free asset off the asset store. Like a lot of my games, my first games were free assets. So let me just go back to our slides and I can show you a little bit more about that. So go back to present from this slide. Don't restart. All right, beautiful. Yeah, so buy what you can't make, or there's a free tab. You know, like there's no reason to actually spend money as well if you want to just kind of keep your if your budget is free 99, you can still make games with free 99. I wanted to show you this. So I paid $20 for the environment of the Haunted Manor, and $10 for this like monster that is the monster from Don't Look Away. So basically, I spent $30 to make this game that was downloaded over like 250,000 times, and it's just like that's the level of like simplicity you can kind of like add into your games, and it's dope. It's great, especially if you're not an artist, but it like your art asset should never be a barrier to like stopping you from like making something. So I just want to preach the good word of that, you know, like for us non-artists peeps. So yeah, like what's a funny anecdote is in the early days of mobile VR, everybody was using this asset, but no one noticed it. So like we were all just using different rooms. So like we had like every haunted game like in 2017 was in this one haunted house. And it was really funny because like if anyone noticed it, it could have been this really cool Reddit theory of like they all take place in the same universe or something like that, and no one caught on, which is amazing because that basically shows like you like even with these assets and these assets like being used over and over again, like users are still enjoying it for the experience that it is, and not saying like, wait, didn't I see that before? So yeah, so art shouldn't be a barrier. Make your games awesome. So I just wanted to kind of talk about like trailblazers in VR. So what's really cool is these are people that are just kind of made small games, got funded, or just kind of like are doing crazy stuff in VR. Micah Johnson created this amazing game called Where Angels Meet, and basically you are in the perspective of a mother who's died at birth, and actually like you're watching over your son as he grows up in life, and it's amazing. But also, it has like a hint of commentary on police brutality as well, and it's such an amazing experience that you would never get in like a traditional game because like people are like, hey, there's no where's the Call of Duty? Where's the warfare in this? And like this is one of the amazing things about VR. You can kind of like create amazing experiences that are kind of centered around like things that you're passionate about. So Micah was actually funded by Oculus Launchpad from this, and it turned out to be a really amazing experience. He's now making like VR massage experiences. So like literally you're just like in a massage chair and you're just kind of like in amazing like views like this now.
Nice.
So like it's just crazy. You're just like that's the level of killing it he's doing in VR. Jack Wilmot, I don't know if you've ever heard of like the thing that went viral where this guy spent a week in VR. Yeah, that's it. Like he's a cool kid. He's just like so he is the co-founder of Disrupt the Future, and he just kind of wanted to kind of like he makes VR content as well as just kind of talks about VR in general. Yeah, he spent a week in VR, and it was crazy because like yeah, exactly. So like, how do you shower? He just had this little plastic bin over his face as he like showered. How did he like sleep? He just switched the headset to like the Oculus Go. How did he cook? He used one of the headsets with like a camera in front, so you can kind of see what he's doing while he's doing